Very casual. So this is now the start of the podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Tia Kofi. I love the fact that you're in regal blue.
I am.
Very fitting.
It had to be done.
Yeah.
We had to do it because obviously we have to talk about a little chat about Eurovision.
Eurovision.
How was the experience?
Let me just sum it up in a couple of words. It was like crazy, bonkers, extremely fun and hectic.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, you've been there.
I have. Sadly not as the UK's representative yet.
Yet. Do you know what? I loved it. I was always a huge Eurovision fan ever since I was a little boy. That was the one show out of the year I was allowed to stay up late and watch as a little kid because it was just the best thing ever. So for me to be able to represent my country, be in the Eurovision was like literally all my little boy fantasies coming true. So I was so excited when I got the opportunity to do it. The other boys were not as much. Anthony loved it, but Simon and Lee took a bit of persuading.
Well, this has been my theory the whole time. I've never actually asked you about it, but I do, by my imagination, hold you solely responsible for Blue representing the UK at Eurovision. You must have steered that ship. I
did steer the ship, yeah. I mean, I was the one that got asked first about it, and I was like literally hand in mouth, gagging myself because I was so excited. But I got to be a judge on a program called Eurovision. I think, what was it? Eurovision
You Decide?
You Decide.
Yeah.
Where Jade Ewan, we picked Jade Ewan as a representative. It was the Lord Webber season.
Good year.
And I got to be a judge on that, which was really fun. And then I got asked to read out the results in the little room. It's like a little room where you get to read out the results.
That's my dream.
And 12 points goes to Belgique, which was very exciting for me because that was like, you know, giving me all the feels. But then I got asked to represent the country and actually perform in it. So I was, yeah.
I mean, it is
moist everywhere.
But it's damp, dripping. It's such a big deal to have that sort of like process of being like so involved and then like get onto the stage.
Yeah.
So how did you persuade the other three? What was the tactic?
Well, Mr. Costa was very much open for it because, you know, he's a big old Eurovision fan as well. So
really?
He didn't take much persuading. Okay. I mean, this is the guy who stars in Mamma Mia the musical. So ABBA fan, ABBA, you know, huge win at the Eurovision all those years ago. So Mr. Costa was fully on board. Simon and Lee, I don't think they watched Eurovision. It's like me and Anthony. They might have like put it on and flicked through the channels and it might have been on and turned off again. But they weren't really like avid Eurovision fans like me. So yeah.
But you got them on board.
I got them on board. I think what happened was we got in, we had a meeting with the BBC and they sat us down and they talked about the whole process and we had a new album at the time and we just thought this is such a great opportunity to promote, to come back and promote around Europe. To let everybody know that Blue's back after we've been away for several years. So it was just a really good experience. And we wrote a song called I Can, and we didn't, but we tried and we got back up again.
I mean, you did pretty well.
We did all right.
You did very well. The UK in Eurovision has had a tumultuous history. I remember being very excited because I was like, oh my God, we're on the left-hand side.
We were on the left-hand side. Yeah. The scoring was different when we did it then. The scoring situation now is really good. And if it had been down to the phone vote, we would have been 5th.
Yes.
Because people loved us and picked up the phone and voted. But the judges, they didn't like us, the meanies.
Yeah, I don't really understand that because they're sort of like, sometimes you look at how the juries have voted and I'm like, what are you basing this on? Like country by country. Also, I feel like you were in an era where, controversially, that brave statement that I'm making, where juries could be persuaded by financial means from some unscrupulous countries. So some of those jury votes that year were questionable. Yeah. I was like, oh, interesting. I see. I'm not going to name any countries because I'm scared of them. But some of the jury votes were a little questionable. Yeah. I think some people were persuaded.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of that went on. I think it's much better now. And the voting system now is so much more exciting. It's so great when you go through that end bit and it's so nerve-wracking and it's brilliant, the situation now they have with the votes. But it wasn't like that when we did it. They were still trying to find their feet with it.
Yeah, it was a different vibe. But I wonder if you like are able to watch it now with the same excitement, or does it feel different because you can sort of put yourself into their shoes? You know what it's like to be in that green room.
No, I still get really excited and I actually get envy because I was like, I want to go back and do it again. I would so do it again.
You could. This is the start of the campaign right here. Dear BBC.
Duncan and Tia, we're going to represent. What can we be called?
Oh, okay. Do you think we need to make like a colour choice?
A colour choice?
Yeah.
Blue Tia?
Blue,
Tia blue?
Tia blue. Yeah, why not?
Blue coffee.
Blue coffee.
With a slice of tea.
That's a thing.
With a side of tea.
Yeah. Sure, we're workshopping.
We'll workshop it.
We'll just call ourselves Scooch and call it a day.
I'll
be fine. Very that. No, but it's so exciting. I have been obsessed with Eurovision like from a young age. I remember like watching the four of you performing. I was super excited because when it came to the performance, I think that was my first time where I was like, okay, I know the song inside out. And then I watched the live performance and you'd like changed the production up a little bit. Like it had changed very slightly.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I was performing it on the Graham Norton show and it was quite dancey and there was quite a lot of movement going around. And I think when we got to the Eurovision in Dusseldorf and we got to be on the stage, they had these big full screens, which we didn't really know about. So we had to change it all because we had to come out from behind the screens and they had to kind of adapt the performance and everything. On the actual, pretty much like on the rehearsal day. So we were a bit like, because we're not real dancers. We can do a little bit of a move.
A little
bit of a lean.
A little go-go move.
Yeah, a little go-go boy. But no, we're not really dancers. So it was, and the thing is, what's crazy, you build up, you've got weeks in the Eurovision camp getting ready for rehearsing and doing all the promotional stuff that you have to do, which is exhausting. And you're doing it every single day. You're meeting all the different delegates. You're kind of like doing all the gigs out there. You're promoting. And then it gets to the actual Eurovision day and you are so exhausted. And the whole build up and you get your 2 minutes on stage and literally a blink of an eye, it's done. It's finished. And that's it. But it was honestly one of the best things I've ever done. I absolutely loved it. It's camp as Christmas. It's just so much fun. It was just brilliant.
It's huge, isn't it? Because like you can't really conceive of the numbers. Like even in the arena, it's a huge number of people. And then there are literally millions of people watching around the world.
Gazillions.
Yeah. Just far too many everywhere. Not just Europe, like literally all over the world.
I was in New York last week and they even throw Eurovision parties in New York.
What? Really?
Yeah. I was in the West Village and they were saying to me that there's a gay bar there and they do Eurovision parties and everybody gets a little pen and paper and they vote for which country they think's going to win.
Okay, that sounds like my kind of energy during like a full like scoreboard situation.
Yeah. My boyfriend does the scoreboard. You do Eurovision parties, don't you? My boyfriend sat over there and he lives in Belgium, so he's obviously always voting for Belgium. Belgique.
Yep.
And you do Eurovision parties, don't you? He actually dressed up and didn't you do a drag Eurovision? 2 years ago they did drag Eurovision where they all got dressed. I wasn't there unfortunately because I love getting in a bit of drag, but I got the videos and they were all doing little drag performances, which was hilarious.
Little performances. As well. I just thought you were like watching it in full drag.
They were watching it and then they were filming little drag performances to songs which they were sending me on the phone, which was hilarious, keeping me entertained.
Okay, big question. If you were gonna do a drag performance of a Eurovision song, it cannot be your own. Which would you choose?
Ooh.
And what's your reason for that nomination?
Ooh, that's such a good question. There's so many. Fuego.
With the choreography.
I'd have to, with the hair flicks. I want to do that. I want the long hair and the cat suit, the little cat suit and the hair flicks.
I'll lend you a cat suit.
Can you lend me a cat suit?
Yeah.
Have you got a wig?
I've got one or two.
Have you got a long one?
Yes.
A nice one.
I feel like that was the read. I have a human unit, thank you. I might not be flicking it around like Taste, but I have several.
I was going to say Taste is what was it, 18 inches or something?
Oh, no, it's like 30. Like,
is it more?
Yeah.
30?
Yeah, it's actually 30 inches, or if you're going by grinder measurements, probably like 40 or something. Exaggerated. No, but I think she's got a 30-inch human unit.
Mental.
As do I, but on me, because I'm a giant human man, it looks like a bob. It just does not register as a long wig. But I will lend you a human unit for a full performance of Fuego.
Thank you. Yeah, that'll be my number.
I feel like we need to make that happen.
Will you choreograph it for me?
We'll ask Cheryl. I think she should do. She's a slightly stronger dancer than I am.
I've seen you in action. You're all right.
Little two-step.
Yeah.
Little bop. A point. I love a point.
You love a point?
I do love a point.
Yeah.
And that is the range of my dance abilities.
Well, listen, you won Drag Race, so you're a winner, baby.
I did somehow win Drag Race without any dance skills whatsoever. Comedy goes a long way. And there's a lot of comedy in Eurovision. That's called a segue. Thank you. Do you have any favourite acts from like the past or present 2025?
Ooh, there's been some really interesting ones, hasn't there? Obviously, I'm a huge fan of Loreen. I think she's just like icon, goddess, queen. Insane how talented she is, and her voice is. I remember when she first came out with Tattoo. This is before the Eurovision. They released a song. We were in Belgium, and I played it to Rodrigo in the car, and I said, "This is going to be the winner of this year's Eurovision," and I played it to him.
Yeah,
and then of course it won because I was right. And she's just incredible. And obviously, Euphoria is such a great song. And of course, when we go to clubs, Loreen's always been played in the clubs, in the gay clubs. You know what I mean? They always do the remixes of a bit of Tattoo comes on, and I'm like, yes, a little bit of Euphoria.
We get a lot of Eurovision. I feel like there's some shout out to the two brewers in Clapham. Love you, divas. But like, I feel like we get some quite obscure Eurovision songs in the gay bars. Like,
really?
Hera Bjork's Je ne sais quoi. Are you familiar with that one?
No.
Oh, DJ Demon loves to play that at the Brewers on a Saturday night. Yeah. There's a lot of Eurovision that sort of like sneaks under the radar and no one ever notices it. And I'm like, it's a Eurovision song. And they're like, okay. That's
Netto, isn't it?
Netta.
Netto's the shop, isn't it?
Cornetto's the ice cream.
Cornetto, the ice cream. Netto's the shop. Netta is the singer. Yeah. The Clucking Chicken song.
Yeah, Toy.
That comes on quite a bit.
Yeah, it does actually.
I hear Toy coming on.
That's weird because I don't feel like that's like a...
I've heard a few remixes of it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one I've heard.
I can't really think of any more that sort
Unicorn.
of like,
I've heard that.
That has been played.
That's been played. Who was that? Israel, wasn't it? Unicorn.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Unicorn. That was a good song. I like that one.
It was about another iconic dance break.
Iconic dance break.
I feel like you just like a dance break.
She was like a triple threat though. She was doing it all, that one. I was so impressed.
There was a little floor work.
She was floor work, everything. There was full on choreo. And she sung great live, and I thought she could have won it.
I feel like that's the thing about like the gays watching the Eurovision. I feel like there's always like an iconic sort of like diva with a dance break that we want to win. Like Fuego didn't win, but we were all like, justice for Fuego.
Justice for Fuego.
Maybe we send you back in drag with an iconic dance break.
We'll definitely get nil point.
No, we'll throw in some floor work, some strobe lights.
We'll make it work. Add production.
Yes.
Have a load of drag queens like you coming around performing with me, maybe.
Tell you what, when it gets to you're in full drag. Here's the vision, BBC, if you're listening. You're in full drag.
In full drag, okay.
You've got an iconic song. You're solo on stage. Then it comes to the dance break. There's a dramatic blackout. In the blackout, we've sent on Tamara Thomas, who does the dance break. Cameras at a distance, no one can tell. Does the dance break, another blackout. You come back on with a microphone as if you've done the whole thing.
Oh, so she's doing a solo, like pretending to be me?
Yeah, no one knows it's her.
Okay.
It's you.
I just look snatched all of a sudden. I've gone from a big muscly boy to a snatched queen.
We'll put her in a big muscle padded outfit. Just Tamara Thomas with a giant bicep.
Oh, I love her. She's hilarious.
I think it could work.
You think it could work? Is that the sales pitch?
Yeah, that's my sales pitch to the BBC.
Great, sign me up.
If we can just edit that so it's like got The Apprentice music underneath it. And then Lord Sugar fires me. Bury that. Have you been sort of tuning into this year's Eurovision stuff?
Not so far, but I will be because I like to kind of get myself prepared. I like to watch all the heats. I like to know exactly what's going on. I like to know all the songs. Was it Switzerland won last year?
Yes, Nemo the Code.
Yeah, I called that one as well. I thought that was going to win.
Interesting.
When we're doing ringing up Michelle Visage on our Radio 2 show before the Eurovision, and she did a little "Who do you think's going to win?" and I said, I think Switzerland's going to win it.
Do your psychic abilities extend beyond Eurovision, or is it just Eurovision winner specific?
Do you know what? I like to think I have a good ear for a song.
Mm-hmm.
I like to write. I like to, I'm in tune with music, I like to think. Ever since I was a little boy, I've been playing the piano. And I just enjoy music. And I think when you hear a good song, you know a good song, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it didn't, it didn't win. So we didn't get that one right.
No, you really did. There were a lot of things against you. And another controversial yet brave statement, but we know it to be true. You are slightly up against it when you're representing the UK in Eurovision. So it's less likely to get a sort of fair shot. I think you should have had a higher placement, but as we said, voting was a little bit questionable. But it's genuinely one of my favourite UK entries.
Oh,
I listen to it just casually, not even specific to Eurovision time. I'm
Just
like,
casually.
yeah, just
Pop it on.
pop it on for a little vibe in the shower.
A little point.
Yeah, very that. And then occasionally send you voice notes of me trying to do Lee's big note.
Yeah, I actually have got some voice notes of you doing Lee's note, I was very impressed.
Not requested by you, just of an afternoon. I'm like, I'm trying to.
I loved it.
Thank you.
It was very good.
I did my best.
I love your music as well. I'm a big fan.
Oh, thank you. This is not promotional for me, but please continue. What specifically about my music do you love?
I like the song Read My Lips. Is it Read My Lips?
Yeah, producer Poppy's fave.
It is a really good bop. It's a really good tune. I think actually when you released that, I messaged you and I said, this is a bop. This is a really good bop.
Where would it have placed in Eurovision, do you think?
I think that could have been a really good Eurovision song.
It could have, but it isn't, sadly.
What about remixing it, re-releasing it and putting it up again?
Do you know what? I feel like I actually think about it fairly often, would I be able to cope with that kind of pressure of doing Eurovision? Because that's one of the things that is it's not just about the song. It's not just about the singing ability. There's a huge amount of pressure when you're on that stage.
But then you had that same pressure for Drag Race twice, right?
Yes, kind of. But I feel like there is a difference between knowing something's pre-recorded and getting edited and all of that kind of thing. And then knowing that in front of you've done it now, so I'm not adding pressure, but in front of millions of people, you're doing it, that 1 3-minute performance, that's what's getting watched.
Yeah, I mean, it is really nerve-wracking. It is scary. I mean, the only other time I was as scared was when I was doing Dancing on Ice and we were going out doing live shows and I had to literally lift my partner up on the ice and do these moves and it was live television and I used to have the fear, I'm going to drop her. That was used to go from, I'm going to drop her on live television. I mean, that's the worst fear that you can have. And actually, the fear of doing Eurovision was up there with the moments of terrifying that I was going to drop my partner on Dancing on Ice. It was so scary. Live TV is so scary.
Yeah, I feel like in that kind of environment, there is that pressure. And also the weight of the United Kingdom is on your shoulders.
Yeah. And you just don't want to embarrass yourself, you know?
Yeah. And I think I would. So...
No, you'd be fab.
No, fully. I can't handle that kind of thing.
No.
Okay. Yeah. If you rewatch the final of UK versus the World and look at how I've drawn my eyebrows like this, that was because I was stressed out of my mind and I was too terrified. It's a little bit of pressure and I'm nah.
Well, you won. That's all that matters.
True. No, it's very true.
And I came to your crowning party.
You did. You were there. Supporting.
Yeah.
How have you flipped this round on me? I'm
sorry. I'm just a fan of you, Tia. Sorry.
Stop it. Aside from Eurovision,
yes,
what other sort of things are you into? Because this podcast is all about fandoms, and I want to know what are you a fan of? What do you enjoy watching on your Netflix?
Well, I'm a big fan of Drag Race, as you know. I literally watch all of the franchises. I'm just obsessed. My partner, Rodrigo, I got him into it for the very first time. We went to Amsterdam. It was the beginning of a relationship. We went to watch a show and we got to see Trinity the Tuck. We got to see, who else was there? I just remember Trinity because I just love Trinity.
She is an icon.
Gia Gunn.
Gia Gunn. Iconic.
Gia Gunn.
She's so funny.
She came out, she was completely naked. She just had a little flower thing covering herself. We were wow. She was okay.
That is a level of confidence that I aspire to.
That was just, yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
Plastique.
Oh, Plastique. Oh, stunning. Beautiful. And then we got to go backstage, which was really cool. And I took Rodrigo with me and we got to meet them. And Trinity was de-dragging herself. And when you just go back in after a drag queen just come off stage and they all sweaty and they just look completely different, don't they? Because the hair's off, the sweat. It's the fantasy's gone. It's oh my God.
The illusion.
The illusion's gone.
Yeah.
But it was so good. And that was the first time. And then from that, he really got into it. And we used to just watch Drag Race literally all the time at his house or at my house, wherever we were. But then there became so many, it's like every week there's a new season popping up somewhere. And I think because now Rodrigo's flying so much, he's not being able to catch up with it all. So which is really annoying for me because I've got no one to talk to about what's going on. And I used to love going, oh my God, have you watched this week's episode? So I just do it to myself now.
You talk to me. I'm watching all of them. Did you watch Drag Race Belgique?
Yes. Did you watch Drag Race Belgium? The first season?
Oh, hosted by Rita Baga from Canada. Make it make sense. But yeah.
Did she still host this? Did she host a new one? Did they keep her on?
I don't know if there's another season of Drag Race Belgium.
Oh, has there only been one?
No, I think because it was only Belgium and Luxembourg and that kind of area that were available. I think they've used all the queens from that area. I think the one season.
We watched Drag Race Holland.
Oh no, there were 2 seasons. Sorry,
there was 2.
Yeah,
we watched Drag Race Holland together, and that was kind of fun. But yeah, I also like watching Married at First Sight. I'm a bit of a fan of maths.
Yes. It's a long show.
It consumes me, and it's great. And I really enjoy the drama.
I mean, there's a lot of drama.
There's a lot of drama.
It's people thrust together. I don't really understand. Like, this is my gripe with maths. I don't fully understand how they decide the pairings. Like, on what basis? We think that you two would suit each other because you're both very posh. Like, that's kind of like...
But I think the whole fun of it is they put people together that probably they think are going to be well matched, but they obviously know they probably won't be down the line. You know, it might be physical attraction, but then once physical attraction goes, what are you left with? And that's when the drama starts happening. And I just love watching it because of the drama. And I guess similar with Drag Race, you know, you get a bunch of queens in a room for the first time together, all competing for the prize money, and they literally wanting to, you know, battle their way and win and pull each other's wigs off.
Yeah, it does. It do be like that sometimes.
I think the American versions is that they're a little bit more bitchier than the UK versions. I think the UK queens seem to kind of be a bit more respectful and get on with each other. And it's a bit more of a...
Apart from a horror, but yeah. She knows. She knows.
But do you know what I mean? I think the UK queens are a lot more like nicer towards one another. In a sense, where the US ones are, I mean, it could be horrible.
Well, season 17, the mirror message that Arietti left was a little bit harsh.
A little bit.
Very harsh.
Really harsh.
And apparently they've worked it out now, but...
it's horrible.
It was horrible. I think I'm one of those people who I'm like, I will forgive, but I won't forget.
Yeah. That was nasty and it was uncalled for and it was below the belt.
It was quite. And I think I have a little mental list of like queens, both domestic UK queens and international queens, where I'm like, I'm not going to fuck with this person. Like,
stay away.
Yeah. And Arietti, you made the list. Congratulations. After those shenanigans. But it is like that, especially when like we're like, you know, meeting with them or like working with them and stuff. Sometimes I am quite wary of people.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I feel like, do you have the same thing when you're like, oh?
I think in this industry, you've got to be quite wary of people in general. I mean, I've been in it for nearly 25 years and I don't really trust a lot of people still. I do have massive trust issues, but I think growing up in this industry as a young boy, I mean, we were early 20s, Lee was 16, we were thrusted into the limelight from such a young age and had huge success all around the world. And, you know, you get a lot of people coming out of the woodwork wanting to offer you the world and do this, do that. And when you're quite naive and young, you kind of listen to these people, but 9 out of 10 times they're wrong-uns and they've got bad intentions. And you end up kind of getting quite burnt quite badly. So then you become quite jaded and quite bitter and quite guarded. And I think when that happens many times to you, you end up just going, I don't trust anyone. Do you think it's quite horrible?
Do you think things have improved in the industry in that respect? Or do you think it's like exactly the same and you still need to be on your guard?
I think you always need to be on your guard with everything in life. I think social media now has got a double-edged sword to it because in one way it's great to promote, it's great for young up and coming talent to get themselves out there and be seen and be visible. But also it's a place where people can be really vicious and really horrible and just write the nastiest things about you. And I'm like, oh my God, you don't even know me. And you're like saying all this horrible stuff. And it's really hurtful. I'm sure you've had stuff that's been said that's been horrible. I know Cheryl, who's a mutual friend of ours, she's had some tough stuff as well when she went on Canada versus the World. She was telling me she had some horrible trolls and stuff. But, you know, it's just what gives people the right to just want to just be so mean and horrible. And I don't like that. And I think that social media should be more censored and there should be some more rules in there that people can't write hate. You know, it should be a place of love and a place of celebration and support rather than being so toxic, which it can be so toxic.
It's really toxic. And I do feel like it's actually gotten worse in recent years than it has been previously. You think people would learn from it, but they haven't.
I think also now with, let's not get political, but situations that are going on in the world and people in power, you know, it's causing a lot of animosity between, especially with the LGBT community. And a lot of my friends are trans girls as well. And I just know that they're feeling they don't have the support. They don't have the backing. They don't have the love. And the hate seems to be getting more and more and more. And it's it's just really bad. There needs to be something that needs to come into place to protect people and to protect not just LGBTQ plus rights, but all of our rights, human rights in general, so we can go on and do what we do for a job and perform or whatever, and actually feel safe. I think social media now is becoming quite an unsafe place.
Massively. There's a show called Years and Years, which has just been put back on Netflix, and it was out like 2019. Written by Russell T Davies. Like Russell Tovey's in it, like loads of amazing people are in it. It's now just been put on Netflix, and I fully need everyone to watch it. It's 6 episodes. It's iconic. It follows this one family as like time, like across time. So it starts in 2019 and ends like 2030. And like watching it back, this came out in 2019, and like the predictions that are made, I don't think they were intended to be predictions. They were intended to be warnings. But now I'm watching it like 6 years later. So many of the things that were mentioned in that show have come true. And I feel like everyone just needs to watch it and like take it on board as like a warning, as advice of like how we can act better, how we can behave better, and just like navigate this world together as humans.
I'm going to watch it.
That wasn't an advert, by the way.
We're always asking about things to watch and talking about what's good, and it's good to get recommendations. So Years and Years, I'm going to be definitely adding that to my list of things to watch.
Yeah, I also Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's just fun, it's just a fun cartoon. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We have come to the end.
Oh.
But before we go.
Yes.
So usually on the podcast, I get people to act a scene with me. Gosh. But since this is all about Eurovision, I'm putting you on the spot. And I'm not that sorry about it, to be honest. I did this with Remember Monday. I'd like you to give, like, down the lens, a dramatic reading of your lyrics of I Can.
Okay. I just need to refresh myself because we've taken it out of the set list because we don't actually perform it. We haven't performed it. We don't perform I Can. I don't know why. I think it's because the high bits are really high now. So some of the members struggle with that. But and also, I have to say, I've been singing One Love and All Rise for 25 years. And sometimes I forget my verses and I have to shuffle up next to Anthony Costa and I go, what's the first verse? And he was like, he'll tell it to me and I'm like, okay. And I get back and I sing it. But it happens to me on a regular basis. It's really bad.
That shook me.
I've actually had to write lyrics on my hands before and put them on like lyrics on speakers.
Really?
Songs I've been doing, yeah.
Oh, actually, to be fair, that does make sense.
It just sometimes I just get like, if we haven't done a song for a while and we've got it in the set, I'm like, oh, what is the lyric to this? It could even be a song that I might have written myself.
Instead of Tamara Thomas replacing you for dance breaks, I think I'll replace you for the lyrics if you put I Can back in the set list because I've got it down. I'm ready.
Okay. So what are we doing? Dramatic?
Would you like me to give you like a genre, like a show?
Would you like to? Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I want something that doesn't, because the lyrics are very like, they're actually like very emotional lyrics. So I would like to change it to like an EastEnders vibe. Do you think you can give like...
an EastEnders vibe?
Yeah.
What, like Cockney?
Yeah.
Get out my pub job.
I want like Danny Dyer.
This is going to be... Danny Dyer doing I Can. Right, here we go.
Oh.
Right, let's have a look here.
Give me a little twinge. It was exciting.
You were the eyes, the face of fortune. I lost my way and I couldn't find you. Oh. We're not the first ones to be divided. And we won't be the last ones to be reunited. Oh, get out my pub.
Yay! I really put you on the spot there, sorry.
I was really put on the spot. It's like rain falling down. I could do it in a really gay way, but anyway.
Yeah, do you want to do a little bit in a really gay way?
No, let's not. Let's not drop the illusion of me being, mask, dom top.
No, I bought into it. I can't lie to you. You sold me on that. That was iconic. That was great. Thank you so much for joining me.
That was just embarrassing. Thank you for having me. I've loved every second of it, apart from the last 30 seconds.
I hope I haven't ruined our friendship.
No, it's fine.
No, thank you. That was super fun.
I'm just more embarrassed that I actually don't know the lyrics to my own song, especially the verse that I sing.
If I'm totally honest, I have to, ever since I started drag, like in the bars and whatever, I would turn and face the back as if it was like choreography. It wasn't choreography. I would turn and face the back and go, like I always used to open with Power by Little Mix, and I'd go, hold up, no, you didn't. And then turn around and then like start the song.
I do the turning around thing a lot, actually. At the beginning of a song we do called Curtain Falls, I always turn around because I open the verse. I have to turn around and go, okay, and I have to think. I'd literally do this and I'm like, okay, and I can hear the music starting. Dun, 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 dun. And I think, I don't know it. And I come to the mic and we come from humble beginnings and, okay, it's there. It's just there.
Yeah.
But I have a panic moment of, I don't know it. And there's a whole audience of people and I'm like, I don't know what it is. And literally I get panic. And my inner saboteur is going, you don't know what you're going to sing. You're going to be embarrassing. And then literally I get on the mic and I open my mouth and it just comes out and it's weird. It's like an automatic program.
Yeah.
But when I try to think about it, I panic. I'm like, I can't think. It's weird. It's weird.
I literally had that on Friday. I did this like the Manchester like Eurovision event that happened. And I've done a cover of Satellite, which is a Eurovision song. Sung it.
Germany, winner.
Great. Iconic. Loved it then. Was obsessed with it. Used to sing it when I watched Eurovision. Then released a cover of it. Have sung it a million times. And then in that moment, oh my God, I don't think I know the words. Oh, this is awful. Because I had like visuals that the lyrics were coming up. So I was like, I can't even like blag my way through it. I have to get them right because they're there. And I did get them right. But it's so relatable.
One of the most embarrassing things that happened to me ever with Blue was we were in, I think it was Spain, and we were doing a Spanish live television show, Saturday Night Jobby. And we were singing Breathe Easy, which is, again, I opened the song and the music just started and I just wasn't prepared because there was a lot going on, a lot of Spanish talking.
Yeah.
We had these earpieces in with a translator so we could hear what they were asking us in Spanish and the translator was in English. So then we would respond. So there was a lot of that going on and I was concentrating, listening to the man in my ear, and then the music just started and I was like, panicked. It was like, okay, we're going. And I literally forgot the words and it was live television. So what came out of my mouth was like just made up language. There was a lot of that going on and the boys were just looking at me. And I was just like, oh my God, I was like literally sweating. It made sense to me, but everyone was just like looking at me. And I was thinking, oh, it's fine. They won't know what I'm singing anyway. They're Spanish. They might not understand what I'm singing anyway. They might not understand English.
I feel like, did you get away with it?
I got away with it dramatically. I just kind of just put my mouth as close to the microphone so they couldn't actually see what I was mouthing. And then I just was, just singing the melody really with made up words.
That's fair.
It was really scary. I got absolutely ripped for it. I still get ripped for it to this day by the boys.
On a similar vein, on UK versus the World, so there was, do you remember we did like a musical challenge that was like 6 the Musical inspired?
Yes.
Which I was in the top 2 for. And I'll hold my hands up. If you watch the episode, I was probably like 3rd. Like, it doesn't feel like I should have necessarily been in the top 2. The reason why I was in the top 2, and this is probably breaching some sort of NDA or contract, but who cares? I won now. You can't take it away. We had to do 3 takes of it.
Right.
Because the first take, not one person got their lyrics right. Like people were literally stood there in silence while their instrumental was, it was horrific. The executive producer came over to us and was like, we're going to call that a dress rehearsal. We're going to have to do another take. Wow. We did 2 more. I'm convinced I was in the top 2 for that challenge because I made the judges laugh because I was the only person who, instead of standing in silence and like whatever, I improvised a full verse. Rue was pissing herself. I got my lyrics wrong. I was like, something is no more. What's my name? I'm a whore. She started pissing herself. My name's Tia. Mamma mia. Like fully. And that is why I was in the top for that challenge. It was one of the most hideous experiences of my life. That's to be on stage with 7. Was it 7? It was 7 people who were just going, and we were all doing choreography, being like...
In front of Rue as well.
Yeah, in front of Rue, Michelle.
Oh my God.
Graham, and I think it was Self-Esteem was the guest judge that episode.
Wow.
Hideous experience.
Wow. Those moments are ones that we will always remember, even if we don't remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stick with you. And on that haunting note, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for putting me on the spot about a song that I don't know the lyrics to.
I feel like you're mad at me.
No, I'm not.